Before we go on with the video, I want to say thank you to everyone that's subscribed. For some unknown reason, the last month or so, about 50 people have subscribed, and to a little guy like me, that's a lot. So thank you. I'll keep trying to do my best making something you enjoy. All right, on with the repairs. Evening, guys. It's about 10 o'clock at night, and it's finally cooled down enough where I can come out in the shop and do a little work. And I wanted something easy to do tonight, so I decided to switch over to the 30x16 Axelson that a man in Louisiana gave to me. Thanks once again. We don't know what shape this is in. He found it outside a machine shop sitting in the rain about a year ago. And frankly, there's just no telling what's going on with it. Biggest problem is right now is I can't power it up because of this mess down here. Somebody just mangled the electrical starter, and I think that's called the cat head. I think they tore the cat head off that motor. And basically those are 9 wires right there that I got to do something about if we're going to ever watch this motor power up. Don't know if you've seen this one before. This is exactly like the one I just sold to Don to make way for the 20x78. Only this one's in pretty rough shape. I'm going to knock the chip out of that. I think that's just a plate I can remake. And, you know, this may come back. I think that's aluminum. I think this is just rusty stuff on it. That's an engraved plate. The ways underneath all the grease and stuff don't look that bad. There's a problem underneath here. I don't know if we can see it, but that plate's cracked. We'll have to do something about it. It's like the spiders already started moving in. Things move. But I've left it basically alone until I can clean off those ways and see what's going on there. There's no major parts missing. Didn't have a chuck. Buttons are all screwed up. That's the start button there. To pull it off before we do anything. Somebody did a number on that handle, and it's probably warped it. Got this handle. I haven't even tried moving the gears or anything on it yet. It all boils down to what I can make out of that motor. This used to be a government machine. I wish these things could talk. Well, anyway, tonight I'm going to see if I can do some surgery on that. And tomorrow my friend Don's going to come over. And we're going to see if we can make it home out all the pairs in the motor. And I'll see if we can get that mess cleaned up. It doesn't look broke. Now, I don't know what effect the water's had on it, but I think I'm going to straighten out that can a little bit. I haven't seen a fuse like that in a long time on a machine. Those switches there for the pump, and I think this is the cat head off the motor, but I'm not really sure what's what, because it looks like it was mounted there. So I'm just going to have to figure this one out. Now, as you can see, got pretty short wires to work with. So, we put you over here on a stand so I can work a little easier. Before I put you up in the stand, I want to show you what I did the other day. I just couldn't take that finish right there very much. It was driving me batty. So I got out my old needle scaler, and in about 10 minutes got a nice surface that I think is going to paint up pretty well. Of course, I'll probably die from lead paint chips, but you know, I've been keeping my mask and respirators for more important things right now. We'll see. You see, guys? Sometimes this machine doesn't want to focus really good, and I gotta play with it all the time. Okay, here's the plan. There's 9 wires in here, and each one of them has at least 3/4 of an inch, 5/8 sticking out. So my friend Don, who's an electrical engineer by schooling and trade, suggested that I get some of these ferrules like this, strip this back, crimp it on, if I can get the crimper on, and then go ahead and solder it. And then we're going to take some heat shrink tubing and slide it up over the wires and shrink it. And at least that'll let us ohm out the wires. Now, I've never done it before, but like everything else, if you just go to YouTube, you can find all kinds of procedures for doing anything, except brain surgery. I haven't been able to find one for brain surgery. I know I'd be a darn good brain surgeon. Just need to find someone to practice on. Okay, I'm going to pick this wire right here because it has absolutely no wire sticking out, and I don't know if it went back up in there inside the sheathing or what, but I'm going to try to expose some of the wire. Which may be harder than you think. What I think I'll do is I'll lightly grab it like this. I can't move it back. Talked to a motor company, and they want about $900 to go into this motor and basically rebuild it. Well, that's a lucky start right there. See if I can get a little more. Ta-da! See, I knew I could do this. I could be a brain surgeon too. Anybody wants to volunteer, just leave a note down in the comments and I'll contact you. All right. I've gone ahead and done a little of the prep work, such as I made us 9 leads. This is 12 gauge wire. It's just regular stranded copper. And I think I can get that on there and then crimp it. Now what I did for this one and a few of these others down here was, you see okay? I went ahead and tinned the end of these, some of them. And think I'm going to try to tin the end of that one. I got some good old flux here. Don't want to put much solder on it, just enough to tin it. I think that looked pretty good. Now, see if we can put this one on. Ah. We're going to see if I can do a better job of that. Better do it right. I only got 10 of these. Of course, they could just be soldered on there. I didn't get close enough to the end of that, like there. Maybe if I get these in here and hold it from underneath, I can pull it out just a hair farther. You'll have to get in your way, sorry about that. I can get you in there any closer. But that's what I started with. Now I'm going to see if I can solder that one. That's the hardest one to do. Looks like one of the tinned pieces came out. But little soldering iron, biggest one I have. Headed up on 30. I don't know if you guys watched Louis Rossman, the MacBook repair guy up in New York City. I'm pulling this pretty tight on that and I don't see a problem. I think I got it in there. I want to clean this up to where it's got a bottom bulge in it. Man is a big believer in flux, and he kind of made a believer out of me. Now, the only problem is I think I need to clean that flux off of there so it doesn't set up corrosion. So let me go get something to clean that off with. See if some contact cleaner will clean it off. That's still pretty tight. I think that's a good joint. Sorry if I'm kind of distracted tonight. A couple weeks ago, a kitten found its way into my shop. Now, I'm going to have to get a little bit bigger piece of that. Kitten found its way in my shop, and it's got an injured back leg, and I think it's infected, and we can't catch it. We've been feeding it, but the last couple of days it stopped eating, and I still can't catch it. So people throw away cats out here and dogs. The next size of shrink tubing that I have, I don't know if it's going to shrink up enough, but I'd love to fix this motor permanently, but can only do so much. Okay, hold on to your ears. A little bit big, but that'll do the job. All right. Well, there's another one that's about, you know, if I can get it moved to the front here, they get a little longer. Put that one in the back. Now this one looks good, but you can see it. Some of the wires are broke right there, so I need to get back in a little bit farther. Flux all over my fingers. I think I'm going to leave that sticking out. A little flux on it. See if we can tin it. This is a Nanic. This is an Amtech flux. Hope you can see that. Bought that from the Louis Rossman Group's website. He swears it's the best flux he's ever had. So I'm going to take him at his word. These ferrules have a positive stop in the middle. I think I would just take and leave that on there. Well, let's tin it up and then cut it off. I don't know why my camera keeps turning off, but you guys are missing a lot of good folksy sayings and instructional techniques. Not really, just missing a lot of me mouthing off while I'm doing stuff. These are the last 4 wires. My friend Don will be happy. He's been itching to get over here and try his new technique. Pretty sad. The new technique requires an analog meter, voltage meter. He's an electrical engineer and he even has an oscilloscope. Neither one of us had an analog voltage meter. So, eBay to the rescue. Have to cool down a little bit before you turn them off high. I'm extremely happy with that. I think we can put a zip tie around that and either find another cat head, repair that one over there, or put a box on it. I left these really long so that we could easily ohm them out. And also, I don't really know where this went. It's got a bracket that's all bent up. Well, you can't see up there. Come down here. Now, I left these long so that we can easily, pair them up. Basically what you do is you go through here and you find continuity between two wires, and that will make a pair. Then you find another one, that's a pair, then another one, that's a pair. And then the last three wires should all have continuity between them because it's in a Y design motor. And to find out the different pairs, you run a battery through it and watch the needle deflect on that cheap Chinese meter that we were forced to buy. This looks to have been mounted right here. And I think this cat head over here was actually up here, and they just ran that down to the bottom, and when they hit it, it just ripped everything off. It looks like they hit it up here and pushed it down, and it just sheared those wires. Hopefully they're not loose inside. But time will tell. Be very quiet. I'm looking for the new little shop kitty that came in about a week ago, and it looks like it's been injured and the foot's messed up, back foot. I can't get close enough to catch it or I'd take it to the vet. It won't go into a trap. So we've been feeding it, and the last couple of days I think it's not eating as much. I'm worried that it's getting sicker. You see it anywhere? It goes back in those pipes, and every time I try to get in there to her, she takes off another way. And frankly, I don't want to spoof her so much because her leg looks like its lower part's messed up pretty bad. It kind of breaks your heart. Oh well, maybe I can help her.